The Bitcoin price has absolutely crashed, hitting $91,000 today. Now, is this the time to be fearful, or is this an opportunity to be able to buy quality projects at a discount? In today's video, I'm going to break down the charts for you, and I'm going to give you my current thoughts on the market and where I think we're going in the short and long term. So make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get into the charts. So having a look at the Bitcoin price chart, we can see from the high to the low, we actually got a correction of about 16% down. While Bitcoin is only down 16%, a lot of our altcoins are actually down significantly more, 30, 40, 50%. And it's a very fearful time in the market. But where are we going from here? Well, the one thing I always talk about is you need to think of price action in terms of ranges. And having a look at Bitcoin, you can see that pretty much since November, we've just been trading within this sideways range here. And we've been bouncing from the highs to the lows and back and forth. So we've really just been trading in the sideways range. And this is nothing new for Bitcoin. When you look at previous price action, you can see that majority of the time, Bitcoin will just trade kind of within these sideways ranges, just bouncing back and forth until we either get a breakout to the upside or the downside. And we've kind of been doing the exact same thing at the moment. But where are we going from here? Well, the first thing we want to pull up is we want to pull up the volume for this sideways range. Now, we can see that Bitcoin got above its value area high. And when it gets above the value area high, it's more likely to come down to the point of control, which is the area where the most volume is traded, and then the value area low. And that is exactly what happened. And we were actually able to call the top of this move perfectly for those of you that have been watching my channel. And how we were able to call the exact top is we saw that as the price action was getting higher, the momentum waves were actually getting lower, printing a bearish divergence on the chart. And as well, our money flow was actually leaving the asset as well, which is an extremely bearish sign. That's how we knew to take this trade from the top, and we were able to short it all the way down. Now, I actually closed my trade in this blue box here because this was our next key level. And why was it our next key level? Well, when we pull the volume, we can actually see that the bottom of our box was actually our point of control. And when we pull a fib from our high to the low, that actually lined up with a Fibonacci 618 golden pocket, which is why I was looking to potentially get a bounce from this level. But I knew that if we could not hold this blue box right here, then we would fall down to the bottom of our range, being my second blue box, which is the exact level we have come to right now on the chart. Well, the question is, are we going to hold this key level and get a bounce back up to the downside, to the upside, or are we going to go lower? Well, being such a significant level, looking at a previous price history, we can see that every time we actually came into this box, we actually got a significant move up. And when we take a look at some of our shorter time frames, we can see on our momentum waves that we are massively oversold at the moment. So typically when you're oversold and you're coming down to key levels of support, this is where those momentum waves are going to reverse and get you that move back up to the upside. But it could just be a temporary bounce before we get a bigger move to the downside. But in the short term, I would be looking for Bitcoin to rebound, potentially back up to that point of control where we could even get a rejection and put in a lower low. And if we were to break this key level of support here at around 90 to 91,000, the next level we would be looking at would be that level at 85,000 if we are to break below this blue box here. Now, when we take a look at some higher time frames and we actually have a look at the weekly chart, we have some very bearish signs here. And what this is we're actually printing a bearish divergence on the weekly chart where our price action was getting higher, but our red dots here on our momentum waves are getting lower. Now, this is an extremely bearish sign, and this could suggest that we may be in stall for some more downside. And at the very worst, we could potentially come down all the way to the point that we broke out at around $70,000. But even if we were to come down, all we're doing is we're filling the imbalance that was created here, and we're now flipping this level of resistance here into support. So even if we were to come all the way back down to those levels, I'd still be confident that the bull market is still intact and that we're still going to see some higher prices for Bitcoin. Now, to give us a bit more insight into what could be happening, one thing I want to take a look at is the altcoins to see how they are performing. And when we zoom out, we can see what happened with altcoins is we pretty much came up to the previous highs of our 2021 cycle and got a rejection from that level. And how we could have called this trade is we saw a bearish divergence where our price action was getting higher, but our momentum waves were getting lower, indicating a loss of momentum. And that was a big signal that that was a top right here and that we were going to get some sort of correction. When we pull our volume profile, we can see here that we have come down to a very key level. So this level right here is actually our point of control, the area where the most volume is actually being traded. And we're currently holding above that level. Now, if we can stay above this level here, then typically you're more likely to come back up to the value area higher, which is this white line here. So there is the potential that we could see a bounce. However, if we cannot hold this level on the chart here, then we are more likely to come down to the value area low, which is this level right down here. And this coincides with the bottom of our August crash. So we do have the potential that if that bearish divergence on the weekly chart plays out for Bitcoin, that we could see some more pain in the altcoins and potentially come down to this lower level here. Now, going back to Bitcoin for a second, as I said at the start of my video, the key level that we really need to hold is this blue box here at 90 to 91,000. This is the key level for us to hold, because as long as we hold that blue box, we are trading within this value zone here, which means when you hold the value area low, you're more likely to make your way back up to the value area high. Now, that doesn't mean that make our way back up to the high before putting in a lower low. But right now, as long as we are holding this level, I would be more bullish, expecting a move back up into this value area, because that's the way these volume profiles typically work. But that's pretty much all I've got for today's video. If you liked that video, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you're interested in some one-on-one coaching with me to learn how to trade or how to invest, message me on either Instagram or Twitter. And if you'd like to purchase my top 10 picks for 2025, the coins that I believe are going to be the most profitable and make you the most money this cycle, just click on the link below. And if you'd like to sign up for a reliable exchange, you can get 20% off trading fees at Binance. And for Australian users, you can get started with CoinSpot. Just click on the links below. But besides that, I'll see you guys next time.
Bitcoin, please go to moon. Stop going sideways now. Don't ever say we going down to 1K, but Mr. Novograd say we have bottomed out, Novograd is bullish, bottomed out, don't ever rise is deadish,
bearish target, 13 punch.
Novograd is bullish,
Bitcoin could be at 40,000.
let us go to moon.